Hi there guys, I wanted to talk to you today about the Amiga Speedmaster and in particular a really great budget alternative to that watch if you think that $7,500 for a manual wind chronograph is a little bit excessive. Now I've had Speedmasters in varying types over the past sort of 12 years or so. Started off with a Apollo 11 anniversary edition, which was really nice. I've had a mid-size or the Speedy Reduced, which I implore anybody who's looking at buying a watch, don't buy it. It's just a money pit. The chronograph module on it is really susceptible to breaking and it costs a fortune, so please, if you're going to buy a Speedy, just buy the professional full size, don't buy the reduced. But yeah, like I say, I've had a couple of Speedies. Recently, for my 40th, purchased another Speedy, and after a little bit of time, it just wasn't gelling with me, and I was trying to figure out why. After much thought, it's come down to the fact that Amiga have just absolutely milked this whole space and Apollo NASA component. Now granted, the watch was selected by NASA as the EVA watch for the Apollo missions, or for NASA in general, and still to this day NASA use it. But Amiga have gone down the avenue of pumping out model after model after model after model of the Speedy, and it's just getting to the point where it's just a joke. And say, you go onto the Amiga website, which I did prior to making this video, and thought, I'll just have a quick look and see how many models they make, and I thought maybe 25, 30. No, nowhere near. 117 different variations of the Speedmaster that you can buy. And now granted, some of those are different bracelets and things like that, but 117, really? There's white side of the moon, dark side of the moon, grey side of the moon, black side of the moon. There's racing, Z33s, Skywalkers, digitals, coaxial chronometers, master chronometers, just everything under the sun, and attach the Speedmaster label to it. And it sort of makes me wonder, why are they doing this? And the only thing that I can think of is that Amiga, and I suppose not just Amiga, but Amiga in particular with this, they've run out of ideas and other models to manufacture. Granted, the Speedmaster is an iconic watch. It's up there with the Submariner in terms of looks, and I'm not saying don't buy one. I'm just disappointed that they have to go down and dilute the lineage of that watch so much that you can buy one with bloody diamonds and sapphires and all sorts on it. It's just ridiculous. Like I say, you don't see Rolex doing it with their Submariner. Granted, they put a ceramic bezel on it, beef it up a little bit, but they do it in time, or do it over time, and in line with how watches are being worn, and their style and trend. Like they don't adhere to fashion. They just polish it up a little bit so it doesn't look as dated as let's say a 60s Submariner would in this day and age. For today's market, you don't see them pumping out 117 different models. They'll do a Hulk to represent some form of anniversary, but Rolex is turning into Amiga is sort of turning into the Apple and Samsung of the watch world. It's like every year there's the new Speedmaster, there's the new this and that, and that translates to so many different versions of this watch. Where do you really start? Anyway, like I say, this video is talking about a budget alternative. Like I say, I got rid of all my Speedmasters and decided that the watch that I already had and the one that had sated my desire for a Speedmaster for quite some time was the one that I was going to stick with. And that happens to be this, which I like to think of as sort of a cross between the Speedmaster Mark II, which I really like the retro sort of feel of that, and the original Professional. Now this is the Belova Lunar Pilot watch. It is a recreation of an an automatic watch that was worn on the moon by Dave Scott. And like I say, this watch is well, it's a quartz module, so it's got Belova's 262 kilohertz movement inside, so it is like a hyper quartz, so it's extremely accurate. And like I say, for all intents and purposes, you push the chrono, it operates very similar in manner to the Speedmaster's movement, but you have the convenience of a battery, no service costs other than just whacking in a battery every 2 or 3 years. Nice thick bracelet, and it's got that sort of lovely retro feel. It does actually have some wonderful engravings on the back, positioning whereabouts on the moon this was worn. And again, really important point, this watch, or the relative to this watch that it's based on, was worn on the moon. Belova have obviously milked that, but they haven't milked it to the point that Amiga have done. But I would say it's a fantastic watch. Can't afford a Speedmaster? Go for this. It's about, I don't know, you look on Amazon or somewhere like that, you can pick it up for $300-400. It comes in 2 variations, well actually 3 variations. You can get the all black PVD, sorry. You can get this version with the steel bracelet, or you can get another version which has got a NATO or a NASA strap on it. I went for the full steel because I like the heft of it. Like I say, perfect alternative for the Speedmaster, and like I say, won't cost you $7.5 grand. All right, cheers guys.